How I do. If you guys are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you guys are not, you already know the spiel. You know what to do. Hit the like button for your girl. Put one of the many favorite Truth Gang hashtags in the comment section. Hashtag Truth Gang. Hashtags Mask Off in this motherfucker. Hashtag Study the Show That's Self Approved. Hashtag Mask Off in this motherfucker. Because you know how we do up in this bitch. Alright, so today I'm not going to pull any cards. I was visited by the mummy. Okay, so let me go ahead and give Ashe. So I would like to give Ashe to the Divine Infinite All. We would like to give Ashe to all of our Auries that come across this video in the upright. We'd like to give Ashe to our most beautiful and precious Santissima Muerte. We'd also like to give Ashe to all of our ancestors, angels, and guides, ascended masters, elder spirits, galactic federation, known and unknown, everyone that means us well. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. And last but not least, we would like to give Ashe to our guest of honor, which is King Tut. Okay, so yeah, I was visited by King Tut. That's why I didn't come back yesterday, because I had a lot of spirits around me, a lot of energy around me. First, all messages that we receive with love, honor, and respect, and as always, spirit, gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. All right, so I just want to share, I guess, a little brief something about my experience, I guess, with that energy. Very heavy, very ancient energy. Like my chest was even heavy or whatnot. As this energy came around me, right? So I decided to go ahead and do a little bit of divination to see what's up, why you here, what's good, you know. I did have a past experience with King Tut in Louisiana, but it wasn't major. He was around when the Loas were around. I'm sorry, the parents and the Gays. I was supposed to say Loas. Well, it's the same thing. He was around then at that point in time. So that was really my first experience with him. He didn't talk a lot at all. He really didn't like to be disturbed when I first met him. This was years ago. Every now and then I would light him a candle and make him offerings. But when I would throw big shindigs for the whole, unit, Santa Muerte, Vera Sambi, Mama Bridget, when all the spirits come through and I would have offerings and stuff like that, King Tut would not participate. He liked to be unbothered. Okay. So that was my first experience with him. And then this experience with him was quite different. Quite different. Okay. So like I said, there was actual physical things that happened to my physical body when I came into this energy's presence. I had to recenter myself and breathe and all of that stuff and everything, because it was just a heavy ass energy. So he came in, he talked to me for a little bit. I wrote everything down. This is going to sound like an oracle type reading where I'm just giving random information, but it will all make sense. So take the messages as it resonates. So the reading that we did on October 22nd, the Scrabble reading where I had those letters and shit, there was the word mummy, and then we had King Tut, right? And then we also had Mrs. So I did another reading yesterday, which was October 23rd, which is what I was going to come and talk to you guys about, but my hands was worked down to the bone with all this writing that King Tut had me doing, right? So I used the Scrabble letters again to communicate with this deity, okay? So we got a bunch of information here. So the first word that came out was the word kid. Of course, we know what that is. That's child or whatever. And then lament. So I had to do a little research on lament, and that means a passionate expression of grief or sorrow. Okay, so it's like mourning when a person dies or whatever. Okay, and then after that was run, and then we had Set. So we know that there is an Egyptian god named Set, and he kind of represents the Satan type character energy or whatever, right? And then the word murder came out, and then cut. And Set murdered Osiris and cut his body into little pieces. Okay, so that's a correlation there. And then we had eyes and ears, and what else do we have? We have, these are the children of Set. They are the murderers. Their eyes and ears will be cut off and out, and we will crush their noses as they did to hide important truths. Okay, so yeah, this spirit is not playing. It was very, very, very fucking heavy energy, okay, because he's angry. The energy is angry, okay? So we have fix, and then we have hot, we have nose, and then face, like them smashing the noses of these statues, okay? Then we have the word mourn. Then we have crush, sounds, Mars, feed demons, matrix, lucid, rivals, okay? And then jolt. So jolt, Spirit was telling me to like look that up too. But jolt is a push or a shake of someone or something in abrupt and rough fashion. Okay, so it's like a rough or a violent type of movement. All right. Then we had reduce. So I took that as like the rivals of these ancient gods, these ancient energies will be jolted and then in turn reduced. Okay. So fiends, energy vampires. Okay. That's another thing that came out. And then hidden tools. Endings is out here as well. So I took that as like these people who have these demons, these energy vampires, they have to be fed, and they're using hidden tools to do so, like ancient shit, and they should not be doing so. So endings is out here. And then we have Holy Land Infusion. So he was like not saying it biblically. All right. He was not saying it like biblically. He was like talking about the fusion of the dimensions that I was talking about, like when you're going to be able to see like the spirits on the people when they walk around and all that stuff. That's what he was showing me. But I guess the best way that he can put it so that like regular people can understand what I'm saying is like Holy Land Infusion, like the New Jerusalem coming down, and it's a whole nother dimension right here on earth. All right. But it's going to be after this jolt. Okay. This push or shake or whatever. All right. And then we had Death Hoax. And because he is Egyptian, I was like putting two and two together with that, like them saying that like basically death is a hoax. And then we have whale. So with that energy, I picked up like Jonah and the whale, how he sat in the belly for 3 days. And then there's a chapter in Revelations that talks about Big Brother Jesus. We ain't gonna call him Lord and Savior or nothing over here. Was it Big Brother Jesus? It was in Revelations. Oh yes, it was Big Brother Jesus, right? So he sits in the core of the earth, right, for 3 days before the third coming, right, of the Christos energy. So that's what I took that as. All right. And then the dog energy, because I was like, I don't know what the fuck is up with this dog and this cat energy. The dog energy is the dog star Sirius. All right. And then I got a whole sentence out of this divination, which is King Tut is awake. Then I got life, live, and then the text. So the text that I feel like he was speaking of was the hieroglyphics, okay, or scriptures, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, which I have here. He told me to do bookomancy with this, and we will. Let me just get the downloads, and we're going to do bookomancy. I'm not pulling no cards on this reading, straight downloads from this ancient Egyptian king, all right? So then we had Jim. I took that as a spirit finna work some shit out. Then we had glitch, like in the matrix system. Then we had Shu and Tefnu. Shu and Tefnu are cats. Okay. So that's the cat energy that we've been feeling. But they're representations of the foundation of the earth and then the firmament, right? So Shu and Tefnu in the Orisha pantheon would be the EBE, the twins. Okay. And I believe like Shu is the firmament and Tefnu is the earth. That's what I believe. Okay. That I read here from my research. So then we have the neck area of the body. And then Nefertiri came out. Then we have the hands. And then we have gutted. Then we have netter. Okay. Then we have the body part, the liver. Then the Anunnaki came out. All right. Then we have destroy and the New World Order. Like the Anunnaki is like the first ones. Okay. All right. I don't want to get too like deep off into it because I still want you to study to show thyself approved, but it'll all come together. It'll all make sense. Okay. All right. So Magic Waters. He explained to me that he was talking about the Nile. Okay, in Egypt, the river, and it's like a magic portal between here and the underworld, the Nile, the rivers, the waters. Okay, and then he said something about golden feet. Then something about an ugly witch. Then we got Elder Council, Galactic Council, and then the underworld. And then giants. So that's like the Nephilim. Okay, and then we have New Age. And then we have Mother God's cycles, like menses. So when a woman comes on her menses, it is her natural purging system. Okay? It's like it's going to naturally cleanse out the body, right? So like I want to put this in a way that you guys can understand. So Mother Earth is about to go on her menses, basically. So any eggs, seeds, us, people that are not fertilized, they're not growing, they're not bearing fruit, they're going to be flushed out of the system. And then also the Nile, the river, is that Oshun energy, of course, but that also represents all the rivers of the world. That represents your veins, and then also the menstrual flow of a woman. Okay? So, Father God, wow, Mother God is on her menses, and purging will be executing. Okay? Like thought form, assertiveness, making whatever this is that they're saying they're going to do happen. Okay? Then we have the tongue, we have the lungs, and then we have the heart scale. So we know that that's the scales in my eye. Then we also have the refiner's fire. So I feel like that goes with the word hot here. All right. The refiner's fire. And then the golden feet also has something to do with fire, like with Nebuchadnezzar and stuff like that in the Bible. All right. And then we have DMT. So DMT came out the other day, and I was explaining to y'all that that is the chemical that is released right before the moment of death. Okay, now you can buy DMT. I think it can be created or whatever, but it's the body produces it naturally, in small quantities daily, and then at that moment of death, you'll be given like, I want to say adrenaline rush, but adrenaline is a whole nother chemical, but like that. So it'll be like a DMT rush to help you push through the portal to get to the other realm. Okay, so where was I? All right, and then we have the lotus flower. Then we have Osiris. We have mythology is real. Holograms fall, illusions fall, and then morals. So he was explaining to me like with the morals, it's like something is off with the morals. And this is why this purge has to happen. Like something's off as a whole in the body. So like if this whole thing is the body and we're in the womb or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then we are all like the spiritual body together, right? We're the cells. Right? We're the cells of the body. All right. So if the cells become tainted, then it causes things like cancer and illnesses and stuff like that. So how it gets tainted is like they engage in certain things that are just like unmoralistic. Okay. Everybody's moral compass is different though, but this is what King Tut was telling me. All right. They're looking for like morals and authenticity, and they're also demanding respect. And then after that, we had Amun-Ra, union, sons and daughters, chaos and order, and then Latin. And Latin is one of the prominent languages that they do use in Egypt. Okay. So I don't know exactly what that has to do with everything, but it is. All right. And then we have ancient ring. So there's a ring here out here on this earth that belongs to King Tut, and it's real. And he was telling me like it has something to do with Britain and the stolen jewels and the queen and all that shit, right? It has something to do with that. All right. And then he was talking about keys, riches, evidence, the weight of gold, and we know how important gold was to the Egyptians. And then he was talking about DNA keys. He said 5 strands of DNA keys. And then he said the key of life, which is the Ankh. Golden righteousness. I really don't know exactly what that is just yet, but we're going to keep going, okay? Then we have 12 key strands. So I believe those are 2 different things than the DNA keys and the 5 DNA strands, but he said 12 key strands. And then we have the Egyptian god Nut, Sekhmet, Isis, okay? And then he says, I teach keys. That's what he said to me. He said, I teach keys. And then he said 6 keys. And then he said the laws of Ma'at. And then he said, sit, I teach. So I sat. So this is how I got all this information. Okay. And then he said, I teach rules. And then he says, lion, sequence, order. Like something is in order. Like one event after another, the sequence, like the way that something is happening. And then when he said sequence, he brought me back to that video where I was like, judgment, justice, order. But then he's telling me like another step is like purging, refiner's fire, right? Okay. And then it says genes, Okay. Order. I said that already. Titans. So the Titans have something to do with this. Fountain of life. Vault. Science. Oath. Ritual. And then genes. I'm sorry. Okay. So something about what's going on here. Okay. I don't know. Y'all put it together. It's gonna make sense. Okay. But anyways, it says kill them all. So I was like, what the fuck? King Tut, kill them all. What the fuck? And he was like, yeah, we're gonna kill them all through the refiner's fire. Okay. And then he explained to me that the people that are being killed through this the refiner's fire, he said, hot is the refiner's fire. He said, the children of the grave robbers will mourn for all of existence. These are the children of Set. They are murderers. Their eyes and ears will be cut off and out, and we will crush their noses as they did to hide the important truth. Okay, and then he says their bodies will be riddled with disease and parasites and shall taint their blood. Forever shall they be in lament. The matrix is lucid now. And we know lucid means like when you're in a state of lucid dreaming, it's like you're in control of your reality, but like you sleep, like the matrix, I don't know. This is what he said. He said the matrix is lucid now. All right. There is no difference between here and there, then and now. All they will hear in their ears is the crushing and grinding of bones. Okay. That is the download that he told me to write. So I wrote it. Okay. And then we have no existence. So kill them all. No existence. Grave robbers. Cursed items. Stolen DNA. So he's telling me like they took something off of these bodies in the tombs and shit. He's telling me like these are the same people that has been doing this for years. Okay. The same people have been doing this for centuries, millennials or whatever. They go into these tombs and they still do it now to even us. Like they go into the graveyards and after they put people in the ground and then they go dig them back up and they take off of them their jewelry and shit like that. And this is what the ancestors are upset about because this has been going on for centuries. Okay. And then they took this DNA, right? It says stolen DNA, theft, back in blood, revenge, right? Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. But these are the guys saying that they're coming back and they're not coming back all friendly. They're coming to get this revenge or whatever because these people have stolen from them and they've murdered their children, their sons and daughters. Okay. Stolen treasures. Yeah, they're going to get all that shit back. They want their physical items back too, even though like we're not in the physical, but it wasn't theirs. It was not theirs to touch or whatever. So I was a little confused on that if you just asked me because I'm like, all right, spirit, so this is the 3D or whatever. But I guess it matters then because if it all becomes one, you get what I'm saying? I guess it does matter then. But there's an ancient ring or whatever and some other stolen items that were taken from several different tombs. All right. And also like in recent years, we don't bury people in tombs anymore. But in recent years, he was telling me like right now to this day, like people are like going into people's graves and they're taking stuff off of these bodies and stuff like that. They want people to respect them and they're going to get this respect. Okay. And then it says, rage, stop fucking with our graves. That's what it says. Rage. It says, I'm going to start back at cursed. Cursed items, stolen DNA, thief, back in blood, revenge, stolen treasure, rage, stop fucking with our graves. Okay. That's what it says. And then it says rare genes, omen, watch. And then he said 5 signs. Watch the sun and the moon. Watch the weather. Watch the stars. And then he said earthquake. Okay. So that could be the jolt right there. So it's going to be an earthquake. All right. And then he said squish. All right. We have exit. So they're going to squash them and they're going to push them off the earth. And then we have alchemic law and comedic law. And then we have the laws of my eye as well. So he's saying revenge, but it's really law what they're enforcing. Okay. It's really laws, but it's like you get what you deserve and they're happy to do it. Okay. They're happy to come down here and cut these people up and fuck them up like they have done the chosen children and the ancestors. Okay. So what else do we have? We have time done in the land, finished, occult knowledge used for gain. And then I had law number 81 and then 8 laws. And then we had the Egyptian god Anu, Tahuti. We had the chest body part and then the teeth. and then the Nile, and then Atum Hotep came through as well, and then the old gods. All right, so they told me to separate this, and that's what I'm going to do. All right, so the body parts was the eyes, the ears, the nose, the face, the feet, the tongue, the lungs, the heart, the keys of the DNA, the blood, the genes, the hands, the gut, the liver, and the arms. Okay, and then the story of Horus, no, it was Osiris. Okay, the story of Osiris, this man was chopped up and thrown all across the universe, man. Okay, and then the deities, of course, the supreme being, King Tut, Set, Osiris, the Elder Council, the Galactic Council, which is really the Galactic Federation. So they would be like the feds in the spirit realm. Okay, Anunnaki, Neter, Nefertiri, Shu and Tefnu, Nut, Sekhmet, Amun-Ra, Amenhotep, the Loas, Ishu, Elegua, Orishas, ancestors, the Deities. Moses from the Bible was here. I don't know why, but he was here. Probably because of the laws. That's why Moses was here, because I was like, you're out of place here with these deities. But he still was here. Okay? So the laws, okay? And then the Elohim, and then Judah. But that's the lion of Judah. Okay? So that all needs to be researched on its own. So I did actually look some stuff up, and he was like, I want you to actually like read the laws of Ma'at on the video and all that. He didn't want me to put no cards or nothing. He's like, do what I tell you to do. So I'm gonna just do it. He was young, and he did tell me this too. He was murdered. He's a martyr too. He was murdered, period, point blank. All right, that's what he said. And then they robbed him, and then they stole his throne. Like they're trying to do, like this shit been happening for centuries. Just like the story that we pick up on when we're reading, that's currently happening to somebody right now that's alive in a body, right? This is the same shit that happened before. Okay, and they're sick of it, and they're not fucking playing. Okay, so let me see. Oh, and there was a scripture as well. Amos 6 and 10, 2 and 10, and then chapter 5. But we'll get to that. I gotta get to my laptop, y'all. I'm sorry. First, let's go ahead and do the book on Mancy first, and then I'll get to all these tabs that I have on my laptop that he was like, yep, we're gonna talk about all that. Okay. If you guys are like just getting here, like go ahead and start the video over because I don't know if it'll make sense to you right now. All right, King Tut, you in control. Tell me when to stop. Tell me when to stop. Right here. Okay. I have to go back a page because it's like in the middle of a sentence and it's actually like hieroglyphs that I'm looking at. So this makes sense. I actually have to show you this because there's pages. I'm sorry, yeah. There's pages that are actual hieroglyphs in this book. And he was talking about the hieroglyphics. All right, so I'm just going to start here because I don't really know how to read hieroglyphs, but it's underneath it. But anyways. And thou goest to thy mother Nut. Okay, so boom, that's a fucking, that's a synchronicity right there in the first sentence. And thou goest to thy mother Nut. Thou givest thy face to the west. Okay, so face came out. West came out on the day before. And my two hands are in adoration. Thou settest as a living being. So there's the hands, okay? Thou behold the maker of eternity. Art adorned thou when thou settest in Nu. And that's in you. So I guess that's actually like maybe another deity. Okay. I have placed thee in my heart without, so there's the heart. That's a synchronicity. Without wavering. O mightier than the gods. Osiris triumphant. He says, praises to thee rising like gold. And that's a synchronicity too because the gold. Illuminating the two hands on the day of his birth. Give thee birth. Thy mother upon her hand. Thou illuminest the orbit of the disk, which is the earth. Okay. So they light up the earth. Light the great rising and new, strengthening his generations of men with the Nile flood. Now I can't fucking make this shit up. The Nile flood. Where my finger at? Can you see it? Where is it? Okay, there you go. The Nile flood. I'm not making this shit up. Come on now, spirit. Okay. Making festival in all the countries and all the towns and all the temples, glorious by reason of thy beauties, supporting thy ka with meats and, I can't even say that word, Chekfu food. I don't know. TCHEFAU food. Okay. Mighty of victories, power of powers, fortifying his station against wicked devils, mighty of splendor in the Sekis boat. Mighty is he exceeding in the Atet boat. Like somebody's ship's coming in or something. Or they're going down the Nile in the boat. Okay. Make glorious thou, Osiris, and I, with the victory in the netherworld, the underworld. Grant thou that he may be in the netherworld empty of sins. I pray thee, put behind thee my faults. Grant that I may be among the venerated beings. Okay. Grant that I may be among the ancestors, the venerated beings, with the shining ones. May he join the souls which are in the Tessertet. That's what it says. Ta-seret. Also, and the Ta-seret. May he journey into the Sekhet Aru through the decree of the joy of thy heart. O Osiris, the scribe, Anai, triumphant, thou shalt come forth into heaven, thou shalt pass over the sky, thou shalt be associated with the stars, shall be made to thee praises in the boat, thou shalt be hymned in the Atta boat, so he's going to be sung about in the Atta boat, and thou shalt see Ra within his shrine. Thou shalt sit with his disc every day, and thou shalt see the fish coming to existence upon the waters of turquoise. Thou shalt see the fish in his season. May it happen that the evil one shall fall when he setteth in order destruction for me. Let them be cut asunder. Okay, so that's the word cut again. All right. Isra in the winds. Isra in the winds, good, draweth onward. And the Sektet boat, I'm sorry, this is like written weird, okay? And arriveth of the sailors of Ra are rejoicing. So, Nebet Ankh, her heart is glad, for fallen hath the enemy of her land. Thou shalt see Horus, there's another synchronicity, in the place, and look out, and Thoth and Mayat at his two sides. The gods are all rejoicing when they see Ra coming in peace to make live their hearts of the shining ones. Osiris the scribe of the divine offerings of the Lord. Anai, Luna, get down. Oh my God. Triumphant with them. Okay, so yeah, take that as it resonates. That was the Egyptian Book of the Dead. Okay, I gotta get this cat. Get your butt down. I'm sorry, y'all. We still got some more to go. You said, what kind of YouTube channel? Christian? Hell no, this ain't no Christian channel. Hell no, this ain't no Christian channel. This is a spiritual channel. We don't do religion over here. What we do over here is relationship with spirits. The divine infinite all. The Elohim. One God, many faces. That's what we do over here. Get down, girl. All right. Thank y'all for staying with me. I know I see some people leave, but I don't give a fuck. But anyways, yeah, this is not a Christian channel. All right, so I did do some research on the golden feet, and the only thing that I could really come up with was his feet were like bronze, glowing in a furnace, and his voice was like the sound of the rushing waters, which would be like now energy. And then if you look at different translations, some say it was like copper, some say it was bronze, some people say that it was gold, okay? He said, sorry, it popped up on my YouTube feed. You might learn something. I'm trying to tell you, stay around. You might learn something. We don't just look at the Bible. I do use the Bible, but we don't just look at the Bible. We look at everything. We look at the Egyptian Book of the Dead. We have to look at other resources. Okay? So that we can find this truth. Greetings, 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 gang, gang, gang. Thanks for joining. All right, so some of the body parts, I just want to take a look at. I think he said something about the arms, which affects the ability to apply effort to work you are purposed on or purposed for. Okay? Arms are opened up to life. Arms that are opened up mean life, and arms that are closed to life. The blood. Blood is a representative of the life force, be it with us, a creature, a plant, the heavens, or Mother Earth. Is the force or the driving motivation. Free flowing within the body, within life, we heed the way that it flows, which is like the river, okay? Like the course of the river. All right. If coursing quickly without regulation, it may indicate passion or intense situations that are out of control, or powerful emotions and passions, including those of rage or love. And we had rage, and then we had that lament, that passion and mourning, and then that anger from King Tut and the other Egyptian gods and goddesses. All right, so this is a feminine trait, the blood, okay? Yeah, it's feminine because of the menses. All right, and then the bones. They said something about the bones. The bones are fashioned as tools, musical instruments, whistles, and other objects, okay? So people use bones for scrying. They represent death and rebirth spiritually. It represents the foundation of yourself, your belief systems, your relationships, your attitudes. Yeah, so if it's like, if you see like a large pile of bones somewhere or whatever, it deals with the threat of morals and or ideas. So spirit is weighing the hearts of men right now. And it's based on your morals, okay? And then also human bones represent like inheritances, like coming into your inheritances. Death and rebirth. This is beautiful energy. So what else we got? The ears. He said something about cutting off them ears, okay? So this, hold on, this cat gotta go because she keep climbing up on stuff and she's distracting me. Come on. Run. Let's go, baby. Nope, don't you try to run. Don't you try to run, girl. I got you, girl. Come on. Come on, baby. You gotta go. Yep, you gotta go. Go on out. All right, y'all, I'm sorry. All right, so where was it? The ears. Okay, so it represents the quality of hearing and the ability to listen. So if he cutting them ears off, it's probably because people don't listen, all right? All right, so your eardrum represents how well you listen and how well you comprehend. The earlobe is, again, indicative to the quality you apply to those that are communicating to you. So the size of the ears, open or closed, is one to help determine the listening or discretion. Like somebody got selective hearing in this motherfucker. I had to read that right. Somebody got selective hearing. Like somebody doesn't want to hear the guys. They don't want to hear what they got to say. Okay. So with the ears, it could mean that it's a warning that somebody's untrustworthy within your intimate circle. And false friends are going to be revealed, okay? Pay attention and be willing to hear the truth, is what Spirit said. Then the eyes, that's the window to the soul. It usually defines personal perceptions. Somebody can be cross-eyed. They also represent the ability to see into other worlds of dimensions simultaneously, like clairvoyance. I'm reading down because this is a big ass, long ass fucking thing I gotta read down. Yeah, so it has something to do with your broad scope perception ability. If people have eye problems, they could be unfocused, undefined as a person, have undefined perceptions or disinterest because, they're not looking at the full picture. People judge people with their eyes, the way that they're looking at them. So that all-seeing eye of the universe, which no one can hide, will be willing to show you the things that you need clarity and truth on, okay? Somebody could be nearsighted, need to extend your perspectives. If somebody is having cataracts or they're experiencing blindness, they're totally spiritually blocked, okay? Yeah, so your third eye is your psychic insight, clairvoyance, perspectives, thoughts, awareness, and it gives you the ability to look at things more close, okay? If you see somebody or a pet or a person that has two different color eyes, usually that means that they possess a spiritual power to use the evil eye, and then also an eye just kind of like Papa Leg, but one foot in the spirit, one eye in the spirit realm, one other eye doing some other shit, okay? Yeah, and this also has something to do with, he said he's going to cut them eyes out. So disembodied eyes means beneficial changes are soon to come. Injury to the eyes or getting something in them indicates someone is trying to deceive you. All right? And he said something about these feet. So the feet represent how one manages to travel their path depending on their conditions. Bare feet indicate a connection and grounding with Mother Earth. Itching feet indicate travel. Washing feet indicate a quick release of anxiety. Strange feet means you're going to meet new acquaintances. So I guess if your feet ugly or looking crazy, you're going to have a lot of people that you meet in your life. Okay. If your feet aches, then that means that your family is in trouble. Stocking feet mean an annoying issue needs to be solved. Bare feet are new experiences with the opposite sex. Dirty feet, oh Lord, indicate that you should guard. I gotta get to my sentence. Guard your credit. Is that what the fuck that says? That you should guard credit. Hold on. Dirty feet means that you should guard credit. Okay, I don't know why it says that. But anyways, burning feet is jealousy. Cold feet is disappointment and love. Broken feet is carelessness that causes reverses. Loss of feet is unexpected obstacles. Getting your feet stepped on warns against indiscreet actions or talk. Children's feet are small disappointments. Large feet mean good health. Small feet mean that you don't have to worry about anything, okay? That's cool. And pain from bunions or sore feet indicate comfort in old age. You're gonna be comfortable when you old, okay? And then if you have to get treatment from a specialist concerning your feet, it means that, where did it go? Oh yeah, it means that you're gonna make changes for the better. The hands, service done for others, the healing hand of spirit or spiritual blessings. The laying of hands is a form of healing and a conduit for divine energy. They can be extended as a token of friendship, good intention, or desire for peace. Raising both hands can be a form of surrender or supplication. If tied, if your hands are tied, there is a loss of control or influence. Clenched hands indicate tension and anxiety, as well as potential anger or rage. Upturned hands can indicate confusion or honesty. If a hand is missing, it indicates a feeling of helplessness or that you need a tool to get some type of resolution to a situation. The palm indicates the map of one's life and directions that one has taken or will take or may be required to take. Interpretation through the divination of palmistry also is for the palm. Okay. So calloused or chapped hands are hardworking hands for little reward. Okay, spirit. All right. And it says, finger pointing is an accusation or indicated in extended gold. But I'm going to say this too. I was told by the spirits that your finger, right? This is why they tell you don't point at people. That's a wand. That's your magic wands are your fingers, right? So like that's why I tell you don't point at people, because if you didn't have like a stick or whatever, you just use your finger. You just point with your finger. That is a wand that's built into your body. But anyways, let's keep going, which makes sense because the wand is wood, and then it's usually the limb of a tree, and your finger is like a limb or a ligament or whatever, you know. But anyways, what else? So clenched fists indicate anger or repressed feelings to prevent destructive release. Crossed fingers are wishes and hopes. Your fingernails could imply many things. I don't even really want to go all deep into that. It's raining again, you guys. So there's the rain. Okay, and then it says something about the head that represents the thought process. Well, it was the face, so it's like the head. So if your head hurts, it's difficult in processing one's thought. A cold signifies a clogged mind, so like a head cold. I mean, your mind is clogged. A headless person is thoughtless or lacks emotion or personal opinions, and they need to get ahead or to analyze a situation. I don't say analyze. And then the neck was out here, and then we finna be done. It said the tongue. We got lips and mouth, but it doesn't have the tongue on there, or does it? Let me see. So he was talking about the tongue. So they're talking about with the tongue, a forked tongue represents a liar or one who intentionally misleads people for personal gain or profit. And it says something about, you know, the personal gain of the occult knowledge, like using the occult knowledge to get personal gain, robbing the graves and shit like that for personal gains. Back in King Tut's days, of course, it would have been like the tomb, but it's still the tomb to this day to them. Even if it's just in a regular graveyard and people are going in there and doing shit to the dead, they need to respect the dead. Okay, so what else do we have here? The neck. Inquisitiveness and curiosity. If it is in pain, self-initiated blockages. Yeah, it can mean that you are sticking your neck out to take a risk. Are you open to speaking your truth? Are you being a pain in the neck, connecting to the intellect and the heart? You need to find balance, flexibility, seeing both sides of an issue. If your neck is stiff, you are immovable and you need to loosen up. All right, and then the skull. I'm just going to put the skull out there because it said the head. And okay, so the symbol of life, the eyes and the ears. So there's another synchronicity of the spiritual essence from which it is derived. Painted, they speak of energies they may contain as well as the intention for their use. So if you paint the skull afterwards. But anyways, ashe. If you guys are just getting here, please go back to the beginning of the video because this is King Tut speaking, delivering a message to the tribe. All right, so what is next, King? Okay, so I had to do just a little bit on Amenhotep because if y'all go back to before I even started pulling cards on this channel, there's a video on this channel called Demons in the Church, right? I was in this church and I was only there because I had already stepped into my spirituality, but I was only there because my neighbor, whose husband had just passed, had asked me to attend the church, and she was very nice to me, so I didn't want to tell her, no, I'm not into that. I'm into spiritual shit. I'm like, it's just one Sunday. I ain't been in 3 years. I can fucking just show up to the church. And when we get to the church, this man is possessed by a demon. Y'all make sure y'all go watch the video. There's 3 demons in him, and I was able to then get the demons out of him, but while I was sitting with King Tut, it brought me back to that day when I was in the church, right? The name of Jesus does not rid fucking demons. I don't care what you say. The name of Jesus does not rid demons. I walked up to that man and I said to him, and at that point in time, I'm not even sure if I really knew who I was spiritually all the way. I knew I had power, but I didn't know exactly who I was. You know what I'm saying? Like inside. But my daughter was like, Mommy, you got to help them. Go watch the video, y'all, okay? Mommy, you got to help him, whatever. So I got up and I went up there and I just looked him in his eyes. I didn't have anything or any tools or anything. I looked him in his eyes and I said, do you know who I am? And he said, yeah. And he just kept saying, Hotep, 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 Hotep. Now, I didn't know what the fuck that meant. And it wasn't the man saying it. It was the spirit within the man. And he just kept looking at me and he kept saying, Hotep, Hotep, Hotep. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, what the fuck? And it kind of like scared me a little bit because I didn't really understand what the demon was saying to me. I was able to get the demon out or whatever. You know, but I didn't understand why he was saying that to me. Like that stuck with me for years or whatever, right? So they told me to look it up, and this has something to do with these Egyptian guys because Amenhotep the third is a real pharaoh, okay? So he was like the ninth pharaoh of the Egyptian dynasty, of the 18th, the ninth pharaoh of the 18th Egyptian dynasty. All right. So he was son of Amos and Amos Nefertiri. Okay. So this could be a Nefertiri son. All right. I know that he was actually a real person. Let me see. So so Amenhotep is also called Amenopheus, ancient king of Egypt. All right. He extended Egypt's boundaries into Nubia. All right, so Hotep was a pharaoh, and another word for it would be the pharaoh's mummy. The pharaoh's mummy, okay? And then the word Hotep itself means to be at peace. So when I went back to when I was in that church and I was getting these demons out of this man, right, in front of this whole fucking church, and there's actual people there, there's witnesses. It was a church service. There was a lot of people there. Okay. I didn't know what the word meant at that point in time. It was about 3-4 years ago or something. I didn't know what the word meant at that point in time. So I couldn't figure out if he was calling me Hotep as in descendant of Hotep or telling me to be at peace. Like, chill out. Because I asked him, do you know who I am? And he just kept saying Hotep, Hotep. Either he was backing up like, chill out. I don't want no problems. Be at peace. Or he was actually calling me Hotep. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know why that was relevant, but I just felt like that needed to go in this video. And then the Latin in Egypt, of course, we did discuss that this was one of the languages in Egypt, the prominent languages. I think it was like Greece, Latin, and something else. All right. And the magic waters, which would be the Nile, which is the window to the underworld. Many people believe that there are mysteries beneath it, okay? And basically King Tut is saying that there is mysteries beneath the Nile here, okay? It's supposed to be a gateway there, and there's also some healing waters there as well. And then I think it was the week before, we had the Blue Nile, okay? So what else? Now we had Mars, right? Come out of all those words that I was doing with him. So we had Mars, right? And Mars represents the god of war. So this is the war that he's talking about. Like, he's gonna come down here and fuck these people up. And then they were also military gods, okay? Like, they were guys that were coming down here to, like, literally fuck this shit up. So I guess that would be the Latin synchronicity, because I was thinking that Latin may come with the chaos out of order, but I guess it's not that. It could be Mars, the planet Mars, the war. Okay? And then they led me to Amos. That's the book in the Bible. It was Amos chapter 6, verse 10. And if the relative who comes to carry out the bodies of the house to burn them and ask anyone who might be hiding there, is there anyone else with you? And he says no. Then he will go on to say, hush, we must not mention the name of the Lord. And then there is the context of the scripture, which is the pride of Israel. And if there are 10 men left in one house, they will die too. Okay? And when the relatives who is to burn the bodies picks them up and removes them from the house, he will call inside, is there anyone in there with you? That person will answer none. Then silence. Then the relative will resort, for the name of the Lord must not be invoked. For the Lord gives a command, the great house will be smashed into pieces and the small house into rubble. So that could be that crushing that he was talking about as well, like the crushing. It could be the crushing of the bones and the crushings of the buildings, okay? And then we had Amos 2 and 10, and it says, I brought you up out of Egypt and led you 40 years in the wilderness to give you the land of Amorites. All right, y'all gotta do your own research on this. And this is gonna be the last little piece right here. This is Amos chapter 5, verse 4. And we're gonna read it on down, and I'm gonna close this video out. We're going to read it on down to verse 17. Okay? So take the messages as they resonate. Oh, wait a minute. We're gonna start at verse 3 because that makes sense. Because verse 3 says, "This is what the sovereign Lord says to Israel. Your city that marches out of 1,000 strong will only have 100 left. Your town that marches out 100 strong will only have 10 left." Okay? So that's what the thing just said. If there are 10 men in this house, they will die too. Somebody could try to gang up on these people, gang up on somebody and take something from them. All right. This is what the Divine Infinite Allah says to Israel. "Seek me and live. Do not seek Bethel. Do not go to Gilgal. Do not journey to Beersheba. For Gilgal will surely go into exile, and Bethel will be reduced to nothing, non-existence." So that's a synchronicity, okay? And it says, "Seek the Lord and live." But we know that the Lord here is the Christos energy within yourself, which is your Ori in Wudun terms or Orisha terms or whatever, your higher self, however you want to call it. All right. "Or the Divine Infinite All shall sweep through the tribes of Joseph like fire." So that's that hot energy, the refiner's fire, and it will devour them. Anyone that's not of this pure DNA gene. Okay. "And Bethel will have no one to quench it." All right. "There are those who will turn justice into bitterness and cast righteousness to the ground. He who made the Pleiades and Orion, who turns midnight into dawn and darkness day into night. He who calls the waters of the sea and pours them out over the face of the land is the Divine Infinite All, or Supreme Being. With a blind flash, he destroys the stronghold and brings forth the fortified city to ruin." Okay, so that could be that jolting energy, that crushing energy. All right, and then he also says something about paying attention to the stars. And he just mentioned Pleiades and Orion or whatever. All right. "There are those who hate the ones who uphold justice in court and detest the ones who tell the truth." Now, this is a court situation, whatever King Tut is speaking of, because we have all these councils. We have the Deities, we have the Galactic Federation here, we have the Elder Council, and then these deities here, they sit on the council of their own. Like Mayat, that's a judge. Okay? So let's keep going. "You levy a straw tax on the poor and impose a tax on their grain. Therefore you have built stone mansions, but you will not live in them. Though you have planted lush vineyards, you will not drink their wine. For I know how many are your offenses and how great your sins are." All right? And we're going to no, this ain't the last one because he wants me to get into the laws of my eye and then we out of here, okay? All right? That just reminded me. "There are those who oppress the innocent and take bribes and deprive the poor of justice in the courts. Therefore, the prudent keep quiet in such times, for these times are evil. Seek good and not evil, that you may live. Then the Divine Infinite All will be with you, just as you say he is. Hate evil and love good. Maintain justice in the courts. Perhaps the Divine Infinite All will have mercy on the remnant of Joseph." Therefore, this is what the Divine Infinite All said. "There will be a wailing in the streets and the cries of the anguish on every public square." So that could be like what he was talking about when he was saying all they're going to hear is like the crushing of bones, the sounds that he was talking about. "And the farmers will be summoned to weep, and the mourners will wail." So the farmers are those who planted the seeds, right? And then we know they're going to be in lament. They're going to be in mourning. They're like, these Egyptian gods are going to kill their children, okay, for doing whatever the fuck they did. I don't know what to say about this, but this isn't my message. I'm just the messenger. This is King Tut's message for the tribe here, okay? All right, and it says, "There will be wailing in your vineyards, for I will pass through your midst, saith the Lord." So I remember telling a story on this channel. It could have been on YouTube. It could have been on this channel, where I had met this one spirit guide or whatever, and I had woke up. I was in St. Louis. This was before I actually had left St. Louis. I was working at the YMCA at that time. I had met a spirit, and he wanted me to come outside with him. It was early in the morning, so I got up and I went outside, and I couldn't see like 10 feet in front of me. The fog was so thick, and it was kind of funny because the spirit stood on the steps right there, and was like, can you see them? Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. That's what this spirit was doing, right? Because I couldn't see what the fuck he was talking about. But he was saying, like, the mist was the coattail of the divine infinite all. So, like, everywhere that there is mist on the earth is where the divine infinite all has actually stepped. The supreme being has actually stepped on the earth, right? So, it just brought me back to that. I don't know why I had to share that, but it just brought me back to that. And in that fog was, like, the saints. Like, he could see all the different spirits. To me, it just looked like fog. I could see the fog, but I couldn't see the spirits. But he was like having whole conversations with fucking spirits and shit. The spirit was that I was talking to. But anyways, yeah, so he wants me to make clear the laws that we are to be following. So of course we already know, like, there's rules to this shit. When it comes to magic, when it comes to Ashe, when it comes to all of these things, there is rules to this shit. Okay, so we do know that we have to love, honor, respect, stay in an attitude of gratitude. We have to give proper representation of the spirit and proper presentation of ourself as spirit. Okay? That's not in the laws of Mayat, but those are just like the ground rules that we follow here in Truth Gang. And then these are the laws of Mayat here. So it says, I have not committed any sin. I have not committed robbery with violence. I have not stolen. I have not slain men or women, which means I have not murdered. I have not stolen food from a child or from anyone, okay? I have not swindled offerings, like swindle people to get them to give you stuff, okay? I have not stolen from the gods or the goddesses. I have not assaulted anyone. I am not deceitful. I have not stolen anyone's land. I have not been an eavesdropper, somebody who's spying and talking shit, okay? I have not falsely accused anyone. I have not been angry without reason. I have not seduced anyone's wife or husband. I'm adding that shit in there, okay? Then we have, they're not in order. I'm just going down, but this is what I'm getting at, okay? And it says, I have not acted hastily without thought. I have not overstepped my boundaries of concern, meaning I'm not all up in other motherfuckers' businesses, okay? I have not exaggerated my words when speaking. I have not embellished and lied, okay? I have not worked evil. I have not sent out spells and shit like that. I have not used evil thoughts, words, or deeds. I have not polluted the water. They're not playing about this water now. Okay? I have not spoken angrily or arrogantly. I have not told any lies. I have not carried food away. I have not cursed. I have not closed my ears to truth. That's a sin, y'all. These are the sins. These are the sins that they're talking about that we can commit. Like, all of that shit, my bad, y'all. That was my jeter rolling across the screen. These are the sins that they're speaking of, okay? Where are we at? I have not closed my ears to truth. That is a sin. Closing your ears to the truth is a sin, y'all. Okay? I have not committed adultery. I have not made anyone cry. I have not felt sorrow without reason. I have not polluted myself. I have not terrorized anyone. I have not disobeyed the law. And they're not talking about the laws of the land. They're talking about the laws of the universe, okay? I have not behaved with violence. I have not caused disruption of peace. Now, remember in the readings, it kept coming up that somebody had broke all the laws of the universe. Somebody has done all of these things. And this is why these ancient kings are now here, okay? Because they're pissed the fuck off and they're going to force the respect, or you're going to be burned the fuck up in fire. Like I said, it's either get down or lay down. Mother Earth is about to start her menses. Get down or lay the fuck down. And this is prophecy here. This is prophecy here. Now, it's all one, okay? The Elohim is all one. That's why you will find the different faces of the deities in different lineages, okay? Like Papa Legba in the Orishas, Baron Sambi, or Ishu in Voodoo, however you want to put it, you know what I'm saying? Baron Sambi, that's the face of Papa Legba. Saint Peter in the Bible, so that would be like the Catholicism face of Papa Legba. That's Papa Legba. Okay, so like you gotta like put it all together. It's all one energy, okay? It's all one energy. Horus would be Jesus. Big brother Horus. That would be Jesus, okay? So this is what they wanted me to share with you guys. Live by this, okay? Don't hurt one another. Don't harm one another. Don't do that shit. Okay? Then also, I just want to say this. I don't want to start the video off with this, but the oracle had been coming out with like school shootings and all that shit, mass shootings and all that shit. The first card, I mean, well, not the first card out. The first download that I have written on my notebook here is kid in layment, right? So that is someone mourning their children, right? Because something happened to their kids and now they are mourning over their children, right? I woke up this morning and there was a school shooting. I did this last night. This is dated yesterday. This paper is dated yesterday, October 22nd. I woke up this morning and then, you know, in my city, it was a school shooting and people they're in layment over their children. Okay. So, y'all, if y'all love somebody, I don't care if it's your child or anybody, you really love them. Show them that you love them. Tell them that you love them. Okay, don't just tell them, but show them that you love them, because life is so short and it is so precious and people are dying and a lot more people are going to be dying. A lot more people are going to be dying. This is what they're saying. Okay, this is what they're saying. So, and then moment, that was it right there, moment, because the moment was one of the words that came out. Like, you only have this moment. You only have this space and time right now. Because he did say that there's not going to be a difference between here and there and then and now anymore once these dimensions collide. Okay? So just protect your children. If you love somebody, don't waste your time, you know, expressing that love or whatever. Don't do that. All right? Everybody's moral compass is different. You know what's wrong and what's right. Do what you got to do out here, okay? There's no time for jealousy, envy, malice, any of that shit. There's no time for none of that shit, because motherfuckers is straight up dying. The earth is ready to purge. She's cramping. She's cramping. Okay? She about to start a period. And we know what a period is. It's when you have a child in your womb that has not been fertilized, therefore it is dead and it has to be. It got to go out. It has to be cleansed. Your body has to cleanse itself. Okay, so I want you guys to go back and watch the beginning of the video. We do give Ashe all of our thanks, all of our honor, all of our respect to the Egyptian gods for coming through and speaking with me and spending time with me and giving me the downloads and giving me the messages. I thank them for that. I have so much gratitude. I'm just going to be honest with you. I have so much gratitude to be able to experience these energies coming into my home like this and sitting and talking to me and letting me know what's up so I can let y'all know what's up. It's really beautiful energy, okay, you guys? Something's about to happen is major. The energy that I had yesterday was so heavy. It was so heavy on me. And I just hope, you know, everybody make it through it. So put your bootstraps on, get serious about your spiritual walk, because you know, you don't have no time to play no games out here in these spiritual streets. But if you guys would like a personal reading or anything like that, hit your girl up. If you guys would like to leave a donation of any kind, check out the description bar. Thank you guys for all your love, your loyalty, your support, and all that other stuff. I love you guys so much. Truth gang, 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 gang. I'm out this bitch.